last time on Manifest Destiny, you guys are still in the town of Black Hawk, Colorado. And again, I have to be very careful with the pronunciation of that one. Thank you, Aster. Um, but where did I put the town? There it is. Okay. So, last thing that happened, you guys had dropped Florence's dad off at the doctor's after he had some grave injuries happen to him. Um, Fiora tried to pursue the potential committer of the crime. I can't think the criminal, I guess. Um, down
Subject?
The killer.
down into the woods, and she ran after him for 2 miles until having to give up chase. After chasing and not quite making it, um, she decides to turn back, but she did find a lot of clues of potentially things going on. Uh, Florence, you were talked to by Azriel, threatened, but Jacob tried destroying the camera, and it did not work, but he stowed it away in his saddlebags. We're going to be picking up around the time Fiora gets back to the inn after the long chase. So I guess real quick, most of the party is going to head back to the inn after everything to review evidence and talk about things. Uh, Fiora, are you? Is there anywhere specific you're headed other than the inn?
I mean, regardless of how this episode is going to play out or not, my first move was actually to go check on Florence to see if they're fine.
Okay, then
So I think that would be my first thing.
I'll ask
Very
Florence.
convenient, I know, but
Florence, are you going to stay at the doctor's office and wait for your dad to hear good news, or are you going to go back to the inn? What's Florence's plan? Florence?
Before I state my plan, Chris, are you playing NPCs for the other PCs?
Very generally, they're not going to be too extremely involved.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't want to
Um,
make a decision that they wouldn't make.
Fair. I think for the time being, after Jacob went outside to destroy the camera, I think Florence just sat down in the waiting room, not really sure what to do with herself. Um, I think she's kind of sitting there, you know, hands on her knees, kind of just shaking,
Okay.
just kind of wondering what's happening next.
Okay, so Jacob is going to come in. I'm having an eternal battle whether to do my voice of him or do an actual voice. Um, okay, yeah, he comes
If you
in.
want it to, okay,
He comes
go
in. He
ahead.
sees you in the state that you're in, and he looks at you. Keep your chin up, girl. You did good today. He might live because of us.
I think Florence kind of nods, not really adding to the conversation, just kind of absorbs that knowledge.
Now, you gonna be all right here? I was gonna head back, talk about everything we found there.
Yeah, I'll be all right here, Jacob. Um, if you head back, I'll just wait,
If you need
see if the doctor
anything,
comes out.
you can let any of us know. Okay?
Uh, Thank you, really. I can't state enough.
Okay. Well, I'll be on my way then. And as he's walking out, you see, uh, as he goes through the front door, another customer comes in, and as he's passing by, they bump each other, and he's like, "Darn, god damn it!" And he heads over towards the inn. Um, about the time Jacob is approaching the front door, Fiora, you be approaching the front door also. You see that there's some blood stains on Jacob's clothes, and he looks a little, I'd say, stressed.
uh, is anyone hurt? Are you guys all okay? I didn't see anything else back there, so
The
I'm
dang,
sorry I wasn't there for any of y'all.
the dang
I
camera.
ran and ran and ran.
You did. You ran?
Yeah, I chased after whatever did all of this, and fuck, it was too fast. It was too fast.
Did you find anything?
Lots, lots and lots of animal bodies. A message written in blood, but I think. And Fiora pulls out the bloody pistol from their pocket. I think this is the most physical evidence I found. I don't know if you or Hale can do anything with this, but
Well,
it's the only thing I got other than my own experiences.
I think he looks at it. He squints his eyes. I can't do much with it. I don't know whose it is or what, anything like that. Maybe when Florence is in better shape, you can ask her.
Do you know where she is?
He points with his thumb behind his shoulder towards the building on the end of the street. She's at the doctor's with her father.
Oh shit. Oh,
He's in bad shape.
I didn't even know he was even involved. Okay, well, uh, thanks, Jacob. I hope everyone else is okay.
No scratches or scratches on any of us. We're all fine. Florence is real shook up though.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna go check out her, and then maybe I'll be back, okay? So see you soon.
Okay. Yeah, you see he tips his hat and he walks past into the building, into the inn. And you're going straight to the doctor's office?
Yeah. I kind of like look at the gun a little bit, trying to make sure that none of the blood has fallen off and that hopefully the satchel I was carrying it didn't mess it up, and then I wrap it back up in a cloth and head over to Florence.
Okay. Yeah. You wrap all that up and you enter the doctor's. You look around the room. You can see everyone that's waiting. There's not many people other than Florence. There's about 2 other people in the doctor's office at the moment. There's not even a clerk behind the desk. But you see Florence sitting alone in the doctor's office.
I think I'm gonna very slowly approach Florence and sit like a chair over, so like not directly next to her, but like a chair in between us. And I'm gonna fiddle around one of Bailey's coat pockets. Do you still think Bailey would have left me one of those cool cigarettes that he had that calmed people down when he smoked them?
I think if there's anyone that he would leave anything for, it'd probably be you, for Fiora. So I would say for the sake of this, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Oh, because I think Fiora isn't much of a tobacco smoker, but there was always this one pocket that they wouldn't ever touch in Bailey's coat, and Fiora's gonna undo the little button on that pocket, reach in and pull out one of the cigarettes, and kind of wordlessly hand it to, or not hand it, but reach it over to Florence. See if she has a reaction to it.
Yeah, I think Florence takes a sigh and looks over at the cigarette. Honestly, good job reading the room. I think she takes it and lights it inside.
I didn't know whether the smoke circle was a good indicator or not, but I thought you needed one anyways.
Oh.
You,
You know, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Florence, as you take a few puffs off this, the rush of nicotine, for one, sends a rush throughout your head. It feels like the veins that have been stressing start to relax a little bit, relieving pressure, that aching against your skull. And you also you can't quite pin down why, but you feel very trusting, open right now of Fiora specifically.
You know, Fiore, I think that's something I really appreciate about you. You're so wrapped up in your own shit, but you still have the time for others. I really don't know how you do it.
It's because before this all, I wasn't alone. That what I gave you, it wasn't mine to begin with. We had an old friend in the party. He was a soldier, a friend. His name was General Bailey, and he always had this way of talking to people as if he knew them, even if they're complete strangers. And you can say I'm strong, you can say that I know what I'm doing, but I didn't have the answers like he did. And I think if I'm going to wear his uniform, I might as well try myself, right? With all these years I've lived it, I'd hope that it'll be able to help someone out. So, yeah. I appreciate it. I I know it sucks whenever someone says, "I know how you feel," because how could anyone really know how you feel, right? But what I can say with the fact is I've been there before. Maybe I don't know exactly you feel, but I'm just happy that your father's okay. I'm sorry I couldn't be there when you found him. But if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine. We can just sit here. Enjoy the cigarette, though. I hear it calms nerves.
Can I make a roll against the cigarette? Because I'm not entirely sure how Florence would react in this situation. And if the calmness of the cigarette overpowers that, then it kind of dictates how I'm going to
Okay, yeah,
have this next move.
I'll give you a risk of simple, let's say 12. It's
Simple 12?
it's decently strong, but it, any magical thing can be overcome that influences the mind.
I think for this,
Either way, you would not be aware that this is magical.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. That I think that's why I want to roll, is that I don't think even she is fully aware of how loose she is around Fiora.
Mm.
Can I do There's Beauty in the Bad as she's feeling sort of calm in this very intense situation that she's in?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been getting closer with everyone despite how bad this is.
In that same sect, could I use the Bold and the Beautiful, as I have never met Bailey, but through Florence or through Fiora's words, he seems like a very bold, um, honestly beautiful soul. The fact that he's
I'm sorry, did you just pump up one of your own characters through another character?
Hey, I pumped up Bailey because of my non-biased attachment towards that character that we built naturally through the course of season
Listen,
1.
I'm just playing off of the role play that I was given.
Okay, I'll allow it.
If it wasn't me, then yeah, I would have been gassing up Bailey. But I did have a genuine connection to Bailey as a character through Fiola.
What was the risk again? 12.
I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to calm you down.
So,
you beat the cigarette.
Yeah, you felt the tinges of that opening, that trust, and then your mind, seemingly trained not to allow that, closes it off. You were unaware that it was even a thing, but it just snipped it off. and you feel completely uninfluenced. You are of your own mind and volition.
You know, Fiora, that's a very touching story, and I'm glad that this Bailey has offered you some solace.
Oh, he's dead or anything. He went off. He's alive and well. But yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to make you think that I was grieving. I'm grieving over other things, just not him. But hey, whatever is going through your head, I just hope that in some way you can still feel safe somewhere. Whether that be with us or something else, right? Hell, if your solace is with that camera, then on some level, I don't think I'll even care anymore. Just as long as you're truly happy. And that happiness is yours and not someone else's.
I think for the sake of roleplay, I'm gonna ignore the roll that I just made.
Okay.
Oh shit.
You're gonna just
Nani?
let it take over.
You know, if I'm honest, Fiora, the moment that I saw the sign welcoming us into this town, honestly, even before that, I don't remember what safe feels like. I remember the feeling of grief and worry and being sly. I honestly don't remember the last time that I have felt that I belonged where I was. And even in this hospital room, and my dad bleeding out, and my grandpa somewhere out there, I can look to you, or Victor, or Cadence, and I don't feel like I'm meant to be here. I feel like I've caused more trouble than I'm worth, and when I hear about what you're doing and the lives that you're saving, I just can't help but feel as if I'm a roadblock. We're on our way to respite, and we're on our way to meet yet another goddess, and what have I done? Killed the last one that we met? Pointed a gun at Cadence when she didn't deserve it? Calling Jacob a coward? I don't feel as if... I don't feel as if my presence adding anything. I feel like I'm just another roadblock. Another hurdle that you guys have to get through in order to save the world, or whatever you guys are doing.
Well, I think that makes two of us, right? I don't think I was really supposed to be here if it weren't for someone close to me giving me a train ticket to San Antonio. And there were times where I did heinous things right in front of the party, at the detriment to the party, to the point where we all could have been arrested or killed if it weren't for the fact of me being there. And I think every single step of the way, someone like Cadence or Victor and Jacob have been right there to tell me, no, you deserve to be here. And whether you were in control of your own thoughts or not, it's not fair to you to ignore the fact that there was something else pleading to you, begging to you to think differently, telling you how to think. And it might feel hopeless and lost and fucking useless to think that you don't have any agency, you have no motivation, you have no purpose, no path. But doesn't that make you angry? Doesn't that make you furious that you don't have any control? And that maybe, just maybe, if you had your own grasp on your own path in life, that maybe you can change it, however futile it is. Right? And I don't think that was ever in the cards for me, or for Hale, or I guess for you, right? With the way things are going, but I think in some twisted, bitter, petty way, I think that is a way that they try to have control over us. I've lived generations and generations of having family and friends and people that I know and people that I hate being told how to live. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with how you feel. I think there's nothing wrong with you feeling mad or empty or sad, but I just hope you're pissed. I just hope that there's a fire in there that is burning, festering, wanting you to do something more. Because this idea that you don't have control over your life, that's never fair. And who gives a fuck if life isn't fair? I think that no matter what you've done, no matter how much evil you think you've committed, that you deserve better. And maybe you don't believe that about yourself, but fuck, I'll believe it for you. I believe that about myself, even though I know that I'm on the wrong path right now. I don't know where I'm going. All I know is we can try. Damn if we'll try. If not, to just spit in the face of those who think that we had nothing left to give. I don't know, I'm just spitting. I'm sorry, but...
Or can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Do you remember in the Grand Canyon when I had told you that I had killed that native girl in cold blood? Was there any amount in you that could forgive me?
I think right then and there, I wanted to bash your head in. But whether you think so or not, I feel like you've been there enough for us, enough times for me to overlook that. Because if I can't overlook that, then Hale really should have stabbed me in the chest 3 nights ago. Because there's levels to this, hun, and I think I have you beat. If I can't forgive you, I shouldn't even be here. So I would be kind of a hypocrite if I didn't forgive you.
I think Florence turns to you and she puts her hands out. Will you take my hand?
Oh, I was about to ask you what do you want me to do. Yeah, I take your hands. Or hand, or how many you're holding up.
If I can forgive you for the heinous atrocities you claim that you've done, do you think, by God, that I could be forgiven? I don't. I'm sick and tired of seeing the blood that is on my hands. If I could go to a preacher or a priest and ask for confession, I would, but that's not the forgiveness that I'm looking for. So if I can stare at you in your eyes right now, holding bloodstained hands and say that I, Florence Green, forgive you. Please, can you just say it back?
I think I speak for myself, and I speak for your father, and your grandfather, and the people amongst this traveling party. And of course, you can be forgiven. You sitting here and holding my hands and opening your heart out and singing to the choir, that gives you some sort of judgment on your own. And if you couldn't be forgiven, you wouldn't even dare say this to my face, looking into my eyes, speaking about God. If you can say this to me, you can say this to anyone. And if you can say this to anyone, you can say it to yourself. You can be forgiven. You are forgiven. Just don't be afraid to look in the mirror.
I think she raises your hands up to her forehead. I thought I was too far gone at this point. I was so hesitant. I saw the bonds and the songs and just the trust you have all in yourself, and the only thing I could think is I'm an outsider. I warped your trust, I feigned it, and God, if there's anything I've learned, Jacob risking his life for me, and Cadence ousting herself to save my father, and you risking your life to travel so far to find who did this. I was shocked by how much care you all had. And when that calls itself an angel, but when they would whisper in my ear, when I was standing here hugging Jacob and hearing the words that it would say to me, I've been on this path so long, I didn't know, and I made the choices, but God, Fiora, we would do anything for love.
I mean, hell yeah, we would, right? Can I ask you something then? Did Did you ever think an angel was capable of something like that? Whether it be something you've read or something we've seen, to be capable of such manipulation like that. Honestly.
The only angel over my shoulder that I thought was there was Marina.
Well then, you've only had one source your whole life. Even the rest of us, I don't think we would ever imagine something so perfect and pure and flawless could ever be so malicious, right? That's like faulting someone for believing Santa was real. They don't know any fucking better. They're naive and they're kids and they want to believe in something good and just and kind in the world. And I think after everything mystical and magical and whimsical we've seen, the world bears its fangs. And we were just looking at a cute puppy, right? So, like you said, honestly, you didn't think so. So now we know. And, angels aren't all that they're made up to be, right? They're just like anything else in nature. They're unknowable. They have their own personalities, their own goals, and shit. Your angel was using you for its goal. And I don't blame you for thinking something so heavenly could be so despicable. I have no other words. And yeah, maybe Santa is real, but he's not what the kids think he is, right? So, really, can you sit here and blame yourself for just wanting the fairy tale to be real? Anyone else would have made the same mistake.
At this moment, you hear the door to the operation room open. And the doctor steps out. You can see his hands are coated in a thin layer of blood. And he's looking down at the ground. And he looks over at you, Florence. He'll be all right. He should
Oh.
he should be waking up any time now.
What is the doctor's name?
You recognize last time you were here there was an old man that ran this place. His name was Dr. Everyone called him Dr. Robbie because Robert was his first name. And you know that this is Robert Jr., his son.
Oh.
He's probably no more than 27, 28, but it seems he's taken his father's profession.
Thank you, Dr. Junior. That was. Thank you.
You could just call me. You could call me Robert. Florence.
Of course.
I don't know a single person in this town that calls me doctor. And you're from here too, so please don't.
Doc, I don't know if it's too late. But
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's too late, Doc, but isn't his ear still back at the house? Is that something we can reattach? Is that...
He looks at you with like an inquisitive face. No.
Oh.
There's no. I don't think that's humanly possible to reattach something that's been deattached.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry then. But
just so you guys know, like that kind of stuff did not happen until like recently, like 1960s, 1970s.
Yeah.
I think Fiora was just being naive and wanted to make the situation better.
No, it's not humanly possible.
Oh.
It'd be
okay.
a millennia before we could do something like that.
Thank you for saving his life. Oh, I was just hoping maybe he could have that back too. Oh,
He's got one good ear left. He's gonna keep his leg. It just might be a while before he's walking again.
is there any supplies that we might be able to provide that you don't have right now?
We're stocked up on what we need. If
Okay.
it's, I mean, unless you guys got fluids and stuff like that, there's not much we could take.
Anything donatable?
Anything?
I got a healthy vein or two.
You really don't have to do that, and
It's the least we can do, right?
No, we don't need anything like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
if,
Then I'll back off.
if he's in stable condition, that's the best that I can ask for. Thank you, Robert.
Like I said, he should be waking up any time now. You're free to go in and sit by him if you want. And you see that he walks off down the hallway, uh, seeming to get ready for his next patient.
Hey, if you want to go in there, I can wait out here. Have a little bit of time with him if you need. I'll make sure no one interrupts you. Unless it's the doc, of course.
I don't even know what I would say to him. I mean, I'm gone for over 8 years, and then when I come back, his deathbed, what could I possibly say to him?
I mean, you're here now, right? In his darkest moment, and you were there to even save him in the first place? I mean, I wasn't at the house, but I figure if you guys weren't fast enough, he wouldn't be in this condition right now. So, yeah, you messed up in the past, but if you don't give yourself that room to improve, then you'll never get out of the hole at all, right? I don't know, that's just my thoughts. But
No, you're right.
hell, if you got nothing to say, then I think the least you'll appreciate is you being there. But like I said, I'll make sure no one interrupts y'all. I'll be out here.
Thank you, Fiora. Really.
Ah, don't sweat it.
I think Florence walks into the room.
Okay. Um, as you walk in, you see that table that you laid him down on. His leg, you can see, has a tight wrap around it where the gunshot went through. Uh, although there's slight stains of blood that seep through, it seems like it stopped. You see his ear has more wrapping around his forehead a little bit, and he's laying on the only good ear he has left now. You can see his eyes close peacefully, and you see his chest rise and fall. His arm has a needle sticking out of it with a tube that leads up to a bag of clear white, looks like water, maybe, sinking into his arm. But he lays there, that tall, imposing figure, on that bed, unaware of everything around him, in a deep unconsciousness. Almost, he looks just like he's sleeping.
Hey, Florence. Florence pushes his hair back.
Yeah.
Maybe a tuft of hair above his ear is coming out of the bandage, and she just cleans him up.
As you push that hair back, you do notice in his eye, the white of it has a slight redness to it towards that side his ear was decapitated, or yeah, taken off of. Other than a little bit of blinking, he still seems asleep after you brush his hair away.
Florence has never been the religious type. However, just everything that she's witnessed in the past couple days, I genuinely think as she watches his chest rise and fixes his hair up a little bit, I genuinely think she puts her hands together, resting her chest like this, and I think she says a prayer.
What's the prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting my father get out of this. I was never able to thank him for the pancakes. My God, if you really do make miracles come true, just ask for your forgiveness and to forgive him and just please make him okay by the time that I leave. And I know I don't pray as much as I should, but dear Father in heaven, if you were real, just the one time that I ask. Just let me thank him for the pancake.
You look just like your mother. You can see he's one eye seems strained to be open, but the other eye's open wide, and he's looking at you.
I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Just a scratch.
This is more than a scratch.
You can see in his one good eye there seems to be a bit of a water forming in a film. I'm sorry.
No, no, you are the last. You should be apologizing right now. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for the camera, you'd be as right as rain.
Florence. It's not your fault. I should have welcomed you in. I should have hugged you when you came back.
Please don't say that.
You know, I cleaned your room every day since you left.
thought that was Mom.
She did at first, but I used to tell her it was pointless. She passed. I did it myself. I just in case you came home, and when you did, I I didn't welcome you in.
Oh, Dad! And I think she lunges for a hug. I think she just hugs him as he's laying down.
He stays still. Not. You can tell by the way his body reacts. He's trying to reciprocate, and he does to the utmost that he's able to, but he fully couldn't do it. But he accepts the hug. It's been it's been real hard the last couple years for us. I'm sorry for so much more than not welcoming you in. I know you left because of me.
No, no, Dad, don't say that. I never thanked you for the pancake.
That's one time that you needed to thank me. You know, I never did anything else for you that you needed to thank me for.
I'm sorry I wasn't here for Mom, and oh, you and Poppy just must have been. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry I haven't been home. I'm here now. Oh, Dad, I'm here now, and God, I'm just so glad that you're here. So glad that you're okay, and thank you, Lord, thank you. It's too soon for you to join Mom. It's too soon, and I know I'm not home, and I need you to be here. And I know I was hard. I know I was tough, and I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant leaving, and God, I couldn't forgive myself if something happened to you.
He he whispers softly, Florence. I don't blame you for leaving. I was awful. You never told me, but I know the look in my daughter's eyes when she was in love. I saw how you looked at Marina. Back then, I hated it. It was against everything I believed. I thought it was just going to be a phase that you fall out of it. When she died, I saw that it wasn't going away, and I thought you were just being a dumb kid, naive. I thought I just needed to toughen you up. I thought if I found Greg and got you two together, everything would be all right. But it just drove you away, and you became so much tougher than I could ever have made you.
Oh, Pa. Oh, Pa. She just hugs him tighter. I don't think she's even thinking of the medical wounds on him.
Yeah, it seems like he's not even thinking about himself. Um, when I kept feeling that way, I kept thinking you were a naive kid. Till 2 years ago, when the woman I loved died, and I couldn't help imagine that is exactly how you felt, and I wasn't there for you.
Paw, I wasn't gonna ask you to give up your faith. I wasn't gonna ask you to sit down the Word of God. And... Oh, Paul, you have no idea how much this means to me.
Florence,
Sorry that Mom is gone, and
I love you. That's all. That's all I really want to say. I love you. I don't think I ever said it enough, but I love you. No matter what you choose, who you love, or anything you do in life, I will love you.
that's all I need, Paul. That's all I need. And she's gonna hug him again. And I just didn't want to disappoint you. I love you, Dad. I really do. And God, you're so bloody. And thank you.
Junior said I'd be fine. You don't need to worry about me anymore. Where? Where's your grandpa?
It. Let me know if I need to roll.
Uh, are you gonna lie?
I'm gonna lie.
Tell me what you say first.
He's at home, Pa. It's okay.
He's not even considering any kind of other option. So I'm not gonna make you roll. Good. He's all that I. Well, he's he's something that's left of your mother, and I promised her I'd take care of him.
Well, you listen to me, Pa. I'm promising you that I'm gonna take care of him, okay?
Mm-mm. You see, he's shaking his head no.
Pa, you can't do this alone, and
You think
with
you
with
think
Mom gone.
you think I haven't been keeping track of you? Greg used to come by and he found articles and he found pictures that you took on a newspaper. That foolish boy went off to New York to try and find you.
He said New York. Okay. I'm sorry.
And and I saw I read last month which you were in Phoenix. I saw what you did. You're meant for a lot more than Black Hawk.
I think I'd take his hand. I think Florence stops hugging him and takes his hand, and she says, even if I'm meant for something more than this place, or my root, I swear, every time I'm on the road, all I can think about is the river behind our house. God, I remember the youngin'. You dipped me into. You put me on your shoulders, and Tell me what a big, strong girl. God damn it, Paul.
You can always come back and visit. I'm not saying don't visit. We can always go sit by that river. But I don't want to hold you back anymore. I did that already for too many years.
Paul. You have no idea how much I'm gonna need this.
I'll
I'll
keep
do you proud, I promise.
I'll keep your room clean. I'll make sure to have an extra plate at the table just in case you stop by one day.
And I'll write letters, I promised you, and she's gonna go to the pocket.
You better fuck.
She's gonna give her dad a stamp!
Yes! Can that be more than point one? This is a very important moment.
Point
I
one.
feel like...
Point one.
No! No, you bastard!
Hey, it's point 4. It's point 4. We're almost at point.
You son.
No,
of
but that's
bitches.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He weakly takes it into the palm of his hand. You make sure. Make sure to write, okay?
Oh, I promise. I promise I'll write back, and I'll tell you about all my new friends. Oh God, Paul, you're gonna be so proud of me.
You see, he takes his hand that is free from any IV and he rubs a tuft of hair out of your face. You've become such a big, strong girl.
Couldn't have done it without you and Mama. God, I might have hated those chores, but damn. I wouldn't be self-sufficient without it. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what you were trying to teach me, and
That's because I was a horrible teacher. It looks like we both learned a lot.
well, you can say that again.
You see,
I love you, Paul.
as you say,
Sorry, go ahead.
as you see that hand he was holding to your forehead, it kind of slowly drifted back down to his chest, and his eyes closed again. He's still breathing. Doesn't look like anything major is going wrong. It just looks like he lost consciousness again.
No, you rest easy, Paul.
Um,
There's one thing that you taught me. I think Lawrence gives him a little kiss on the forehead. Damn, Chris, you're gonna make my sinuses block up.
sorry. Fiora, while you're waiting
Give
outside,
yourself some credit, Asher, you son of a bitch, you bastard ass bitch ass son of a bitch.
um, Fiora, while Florence is talking to her father, you do see someone familiar come through the door.
The doc?
No, not the dock, the front door from outside. You see
Oh.
Victor waltz in. And he looks about and then he sees you and he goes, "Oh, Fiora.
Yeah?
So, Diller said that he is going to hypothetically need another day to prepare for the trip. So, hypothetically, we're gonna relax for the rest of the day, okay?
I don't think that Florence would have been ready either way, so tell Dillard that's a good thing.
I'll tell him that's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah.
Okay. Now, hypothetically, you guys make it back safe, okay?
I'll make sure to tell you through the can if anything goes wrong. I'll make sure.
All right. He spins on his heel and walks out.
Love you, Vic. Love you, Big Dick.
I'm gonna be killed for that.
That was
You're
amazing.
going to be slaughtered. Also, I'm sorry. I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
we're at the exact 1 hour mark, so I'm gonna go use the bathroom also.
Perfect.
Well, I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay.
And cry.
Sad shit, you guys.
Yeah, no, this is great.
I got a Snapchat from Isabel.
Ooh. What's she saying? Feel the dark shine.
Holla.
Salam.
Shalom.
Oh. Dude, honestly, this is low-key what I've been wanting as, like, a sequel to The Fog, in terms of, like, where the emotional tone should have been. So I'm personally, like, really happy that we've had at least a little bit of time to dedicate towards, like, closure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Victor and Cadence got a lot of that, and I'm happy for them. I'm also happy that we had this little moment, because I feel like I was really waiting to have that little talk with someone, and it just happened to be Florence, and I feel like Florence needs a W. So, shit. You played that father scene so well, bro. Fucking props.
Yeah.
I love the way that occurred.
I really kind of went stupid with. I say stupid. I kind of went crazy with the Florence's parents because I was like, "What is something Aster's not gonna expect at all?"
The thing is, it's so relatable, the way that you played that out of, like, he was wrong and he held her back, because it's like, damn, that's not how my father went, but I know a lot of people can relate to that, maybe even within this party as PCs. So, it's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked in a good way. Like, that was the thing that humbled him, and he realized, like, the dam broke, the watershed came, and, like, oh, it was my fault. Even if it's not exactly true, I see where he's coming from. There's just a lot going on there, but I'm glad that he took some ownership in it too. Sign of a good father.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the biggest misconceptions with kids and their parents is that parents think they know more. So when their kids go through something they've never gone through, they think that they have to know more.
Yeah, and I think you played that out so beautifully.
God damn, Chris.
Also, I was waiting
good.
to have that outburst about, like, that whole thing I was telling Florence, because I've been holding that in, like, as a character for a long while of, like, damn, we're so fucked up, but we gotta try anyways, right?
Now, this has been, like, the relaxed portion. I didn't think this was going to be the heavy portion of the session, but, you know.
You're telling me there's actually heavier stuff after this? Oh, excuse me.
Well, maybe
I'm
Oh,
excited.
shit. No,
Yo,
I mean,
break
yeah,
my
I mean,
character. Break her in half.
fucking, yeah, Thunder Thighs, that
Is that
character.
permission?
Yeah, I also gave consent earlier too, to be fair.
I also gave consent, so.
Oh? That's a fact. Hypothetically, I'm gonna type that.
Bro, they're gonna watch like this mini like Florence Fiora session. They're gonna be like, "Why is everyone crying?
Yeah.
Why are people crying for half of this?"
Alex is here for the funny haha Victor fact.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hypothetically.
Florence crying over her fucking dying father, Victor.
Hypothetically, if you suck
Actually.
it up.
Hypothetically, if you like pull yourself by your bootstraps, Florence,
I
like
swear.
you'll be fine. Just facts. Vicky. Vicky. Vic Shapiro. Vic Shapiro. Oh my god! But Ash, you're kicking ass. That was really
Thank
fucking good. Both of those
you.
scenes.
Thank you. You were doing really good too.
Yeah, we're getting to have our actual emotional bits. Is what I was telling Chris while you were gone.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say, um, I'll simply ask, throughout this day before night comes, is there anything specific you two want to do?
You know, I
There
think.
is one thing.
Okay.
Okay, you
Oh,
go
ahead.
first.
No, you go first. You
I was
probably
gonna say, I think once I make sure, Florence is fine, I do actually want to head back to that graveyard in that forest. But Florence, you go
Funny
first.
enough, I
Oh.
actually want to take you to the same area.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. If anything happens, I'm sorry.
I don't think we're going where you think we are, but
I don't
It
think you know
does-
where I was gonna go for before you said that, but I'm going along with your plan. Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the graveyard.
Fucking
Yeah.
Go ahead, Florence. You walk out of your father's operation room, and Florence was waiting on standby outside.
And I think when you see Fiora, you can see like something is off. Their foot is tapping really rapidly, and it almost seems like they're trying to fall asleep, no matter how useless that is. But then I see you, and I'm like, oh, is he okay? Is everything all right?
yeah, she kind of wipes away a tear and she goes, "Yeah, actually, I think
Good.
for the first time, everything is all right."
It won't all come at once, but I'm really happy that you're starting the process. Because that's what it is, right? It's all a process. Just one step at a time. You got this.
Fiora, can I take you somewhere? It'd mean a lot to me, and I don't know who else to really ask.
Yeah. As long as you're comfortable with it. Don't want to force you into anything. I think that's the last thing you would want. Is to think would be having any ulterior motives, so as long as the decision's right with you.
Let's just say I've been meaning to bring company to the spot. I haven't found the right company, and I think today I want to change that.
I think Fiora reaches out a very shaky hand and gives you a slight smile. Yeah, you lead the way.
I'm gonna go down a path that's very familiar, Florence. And of course, we down the street. And when we get to the bridge across the creek, she steps on each wooden board like she always does. And when we get to the tree that marks the fork in the path, she it. And I think for the first time she's able to show someone this path. And I think as we're walking towards the place, Florence says, "There's someone that I would like you to meet, and I think she'd be very excited to meet you as well."
Oh? Yeah. I love meeting new people. This sounds like fun.
And I think before we get to the spot, and Chris, you can correct me, but I feel like it should be okay.
Go
I
ahead.
like to imagine that there are wildflowers growing along the path, and I think as they're walking, Florence casually picks two wildflowers.
Okay. Yep.
And she hands one to you, Fiora. Um,
I think once you do that, Fiora sighs. Ah, I see. Then I'll be delighted to meet them.
I think as we approach the site, Fiora, you may notice a shift in Florence's tone. She feels all. You might even see a smile. And as you guys are approaching, she casually says, Fiora, I would like you to meet someone very important to me. And she gestures towards Marina's grave.
Fiora kneels down, placing the wildflower against the tombstone, and clears their throat. Hi. I'm Fiora. I hope you can trust me because I'm someone very dear and close with Florence, and I'll make sure I can do anything to keep her safe. So, I'm thankful to be with your company.
I think Florence smiles as you talk to her.
This isn't unusual. I think one thing that you'll learn, and she will too, is I feel comfortable here. I'm not just alone with my thoughts. I'm with you. I'm with the soil, the life that breams around your grave, the trees with stories older than the stone that makes up your tombstone. And it's peaceful. And to know that you're here at peace with someone so deeply in love with you still, at least in their heart, I just hope that you're happy too. And that Florence is doing okay.
Lena, this is one of the friends that I went to the canyon with. And she's very strong, and she has these wonderful chains that can protect us, and I guess I'm glad to introduce a friend. My love.
Is it weird this isn't the first grave related to you I've been at?
I wasn't aware that you visited a second one.
Last night, I was supposed to go with you to see your house for the first time. And Mariana, you can listen too, by the way. But I wasn't sure if you were ready. But your grandpa told me where your mom was buried. And I couldn't help but pay a visit. It's like I could hear her voice. And it was just assuring me that you had the right thing in mind. Of course, I can't talk to ghosts or shit, but I could feel it. There were fresh flowers that I'm assuming your grandpa or your dad put there, and it was clean. Even compared to some of the other graves there, it was well kept. So there's just love in its roots. There's love in the grass. Yeah, I laid in it. And you know what? This feels the exact same way. So yeah, just my 2 cents.
My mom, when we would do laundry, she would sing a song. Black socks, they never they get. Sometimes when I'm doing laundry, I remember. Do you ever have moments like that? Or even though you're staring at stone?
Maybe. Quite possibly had some moments like that. There's a lot of different lullabies that Rosa knew. I wish I could sing them. Not because I don't know the words, but because it hurts too much to say. But she had a lot. Songs to calm you down. Songs to rile you up. Songs passed on like folklore from her parents, from their grandparents, from their great-grandparents, of songs of unity and peace and freedom. Shit. I think I wish I could sing them. But I don't. I don't have the strength she did. She's the strongest person I know.
You said
New.
from Alaska, right?
No, I banished myself to Alaska. She used to live in Detroit. That's where I'm from. I don't think I told you this yet, but I killed her. Shot her through the chest, and when I could still hear her begging, I shot again. So, a part of me still thinks that, it would be wrong to sing her words as if I deserve them. I think it's unfair for the strongest woman in the world to be ended by someone so weak.
You know, when I would travel to do activist work, one of the places I just so happened to visit was Detroit. And I met this lady at a diner. She told me a story, which, out of character, this is an actual African story that they would pass down in African homesteads. So, Jared, if you happen to know this, if you
Yeah, I'm waiting actually. I'm waiting
happen
to
to
see
know
if I
this,
know this incident.
she told me a story of the wind and the sea. How the sea would chill. The wind would ask, "Seen them singing?" The sea would shake his head, knowing but the
Gosh,
children would always cry
I
out.
think you're cutting out. I think you're cutting out. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
I only got bits and pieces of that.
I might be talking too softly. Here, I'll start again.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I'd hear stories of the wind and the sea, and how the sea would swallow the wind's children. And the wind would ask, "Have you seen them? Have you seen my children singing and dancing for me?" And the sea would shake its head, hearing the songs of the children that it had swallowed. And even though the wind couldn't hear the song the children were singing, it could feel it. And the wind would pass by the ocean every day because it knew where its children was. And it knew that even though children could escape, they would still sing. Sing for the wind to blow through the leaves. Sing for the wind to make the flowers bloom. Make the grass turn into waves itself. Fior, you are a child of the wind.
Oh, you believe it? Yeah, I've heard that story a lot, and I think it really carried me. It carried me far, and I would remember before it was too painful, screaming the words out of my mother's love, my mother's passion, of her stories out into the wind. And it was a blizzard, and there was snow up to my waist, and I was screaming until my throat hurt, until I was coughing up blood from the straining. And I think that's where I find such a comfort in nature, even if it was actively trying to kill me. But even when I couldn't feel my skin, I could feel the warmth of the song. So, some things transcend life or death.
Even if you are swallowed by the sea of snow, by the blizzard that feels like Your presence is only 12 feet in front of me. If you're a child of the wind, then she can hear it. She can hear it even if the sea has swallowed you whole. She can feel the love. And the love isn't going anywhere. Because even if you are swallowed by the sea, or by the snow, your cries are made for the wind.
Oh, Florence, we're here for Mariana. We're not here for me. It's okay.
Fiora, just because you're older than me, you can't grieve in the same way.
You're right. We grieve differently. For me, I don't grieve in words. I kind of grieve in action. And I'm trying really hard to not let that happen right now. But I think what helps more is hearing you or Marina. So let's not worry about Miss Rosa Ross. I think she's heard enough praise. Like, what was y'all's favorite thing to do here in the creek?
Well, I don't know if it was Marina's, but we'd always take our parents' shoes and we'd play house. And I'd wear my dad's oversized shoes off at the times, and she would wear her mom's moccasins. We'd pretend that we lived in the big old city, somewhere like Detroit. We'd have milkshakes. We'd have horses in the back, and we'd pretend that I'd be her husband. I were a man, and she'd be my lovely wife. And we'd make bread in the sand and in the.
You know what would make that even better? It's a creek, right? You guys could have a little boat. Make it like one of those Mississippi River steamboats, you know, one of those big old ones where they have the extravagant little parties and places to sing and dance, and you could own your own business. You could be the stars of the Mississippi, the heart of America. I think that would be better than the city, in my opinion.
Oh, I thought it. Oh, Marina loved to sing. She'd play the piano and she'd sing a little gig, and she always thought she was going to be one of those big stars. She'd make it to New York, and from the money she'd make singing, which and I'd wear a nice suit so I could be just another man alone among the crowd.
And who's to say you and her still can't have that dream? Maybe you don't have to be the singer, but you can make it big. Whatever it is that you're trying to get through, whether it be journalism or something else. And we've talked enough about how these people stay with us even after they pass. So to hell with it, Florence. You break it out. You become that big Hollywood star up there in Broadway. Or be the number one star journalist, if those are a thing. I don't know if they have celebrities Pulitzers, that's a prize. You can get that hanging up on your mantle. It doesn't even have to be material, just do it for her, right?
The only thing I'd want to do is I wanted to take the picture that will baby.
Who's to say we can't fix that camera? Make it pure? It doesn't have to be destroyed. It could just be fixed. I think you can get that picture. Nothing's stopping you. Well, except like Haban, but we're getting there. Does that terrify you? Her? All this? Because I think the rest of the party thinks that me of all people wouldn't be, but I absolutely am. I don't want to see y'all die.
I'm right there with you, Miss Fiora. I didn't tell the other two, but in my vision I had killed Hale. I'm not sure why I would, but
The bastard probably deserved it. I'm kidding.
no one deserves to look like that, Fiora.
Shit.
No one deserves to lie there and a pile of people you don't know. Your eyes turn milky. Your skin turning cold. Hale might not be the smartest fellow, but
No man deserves that fate. It's why
that.
it's why I tried to leave. It's why I was begging Hale or Jacob to pull the trigger. I'm afraid to even be with y'all. In the same vein that you were just saying as a roadblock. I'm not even a roadblock, I'm a cancer. I'm a virus waiting to figure out how to break through, how to break down these people one by one until they're a bloody mess on a snow-covered ground. No, I don't want that future. And I think I get where you're coming from. I don't judge you any differently. It would be wrong to.
Well, I don't think she thinks you're a cancer. She's gonna look over at Miss Grave. There's
Oh,
one
shucks. I appreciate that, little Miss Marina.
Miss Marina had a very big crush on strong women, so.
Oh, no. She's taken. I won't mess with girl she's dating. Damn, she's built like a truck. Built like a buffalo. I don't think trucks are real yet.
Well, Miss Fiora, I think what I'm trying to say is, if you're a child of the wind, then so is she. I think Florence will put her hand up, waiting for the wind to pass. And the wind always speaks its mind when it needs to.
I'll be honest, Florence, I don't really want to hear the whispers of the wind again. But the metaphor, I agree with. Absolutely do. I think my version of the winds whispering to me is not as wholesome as the story that I love so much. But it's actually really reassuring that you know that. So, I appreciate it. But like I said, we don't need the wind whispering to me. If I start hearing voices, I need you to shoot me. Oh, that's not a joke, by the way. Like, I do need to find someone to trust to pull the trigger at some point.
Well, I don't want to pull the trigger if I don't have to.
I'll find someone to then. It doesn't have to be you, Florence. I wouldn't pressure you on something like that. I think I have some kind of agreement with Jacob, but I'm not sure.
Well, if there's anything I can promise you, I've traveled quite a bit, and although I might not be a big singer like Miss Cadence, if you happen to know the lyrics of any of your mom's songs, then if you can't sing them yourself, maybe I can provide some comfort.
Fiora doubles over, tears streaming down their cheeks, and I think I look up at you and like, I don't think I've ever had anyone offer me that before, so thank you. I think that'd be quite nice.
Try to do her justice. I think Florence puts a hand on your shoulder and just lets you feel what you're feeling.
Ooh, I think you can feel Fiora shaken, especially after you put a hand on their shoulder. I'm not scared of you, by the way.
Well, I hope not, because I'm not scared of you either.
You should be. I'm not. I think if there's one thing I'll tell you, if we're being honest with one another, I want to be an example not to follow. Not exactly just a purely trustworthy figure. Don't repeat the same mistakes I've had. I'm scared of me. I don't know what I'm going to do next. And that's why I try so much to help y'all, because at least I can make sense of your emotions, but not mine. It's just the easiest way to do it.
Well, let's just say we're... And I may be new to this comforting. If we're gonna be scared of ourselves, I think Jacob taught me that in the hospital.
And Fiora, like, stops shaking and takes another deep breath. Right. We have to stay focused. I wish it was just as easy as having a cursed camera and being able to just get rid of that. So, I'm so happy for you. I don't want that to sound like jealousy or something. I'm so happy that there's a path available for you. You got this.
Well, I don't know what demons you're wrestling with. There's a path of... And for someone as stained as I am, there's one corner around for you, Miss Fiora. It's not easy being stained. And
At that point... Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh.
No, you can keep...
I know when we look at our hands, we only see a red mirror. But if even for a second I can wipe off and help you look forward, then... Well, no, I'll do her justice. I think I'm gonna get the grief back again.
Yeah. While you're saying that, Fiora's taking like a flask, and their hands are shaking again, and she goes to take a drink, and after a while, she just is sitting there nodding. Not even after you're done speaking, Fiora's just nodding as if you're taking in advice from the grave too.
By the way, Chris, if there's something you're wanting to do, I'm so.
Oh no, you guys, whenever you're ready to head back to the inn, just let me know.
What time is it in the day? Because
It'd be,
not gonna lie, I could be here for a while.
it'd be later on. It's probably, judging by the sun, around like 4 p.m. or so.
I think both Mariana and Florence can hear Fiora's stomach rumbling, but they're just still staring straight forward at the grave.
Well, hey,
Huh?
there's one thing I know that will affect anyone. It's a good meal and a good shower. Or bath. How about we have
Fiora,
a dinner and maybe wind down a bit in this hot springs?
Fiora attempts to stand up, but I'm a little bit stumbling in my step from the drinking.
I
Yeah,
reach a
yeah.
hand out to help you out.
Uh, that sounds great. We should go do that. Mariana, you take care of yourself, okay? And I pour a little bit of I pour the rest of the flask, whatever is left in the flask, out on the grave. You enjoy that. I hope you are okay with alcohol.
Oh. Miss Marina will constantly sneak in sips of her dad's whiskey.
Oh, thank God. Okay, cool.
One of the few things that would get her in trouble, actually.
I think that would have been really awkward if that wasn't the case.
I think Florence kind of notices, and if Fiora notices this, that's fine. But I think Florence kind of holds up a hand to your back, just kind of to be a crutch whenever you need it.
Once you do that, if it's fine, Fiora leans into it as if they can't walk on their own right now.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, then she moves her hand up to your shoulder and is just happy to help you back to the inn.
Yeah. In interest of time, because I was only planning for this to be 2 hours, but it might go over a bit.
Well,
Sorry.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
This
okay
has been
too.
really entertaining.
That's more up to you.
I will say, you guys make it back to the inn. Are there any, like, for sure things you want to do for the rest of the day, or no?
Nah, I'm good. I had my
As of right now, I think Fiora is very passive and is going along with whatever happens.
Okay, so you guys make it back to the inn. You guys get some dinner, and you most likely head off to get a quick bath in the hot springs. You guys finish out the day. There was talk about plans, travel, and all of that with the whole group. You hear a bunch of people talking about what to do next, safe route, fast route. Victor, you hear Victor at one point go, well, hypothetically, if we take the fast route, we would get there faster. But I think that's just a fact, and facts don't care about y'all's feelings.
But Victor, like the last time we went on a fast track, like
Now, Cadence,
we got
I just said
attacked by-
hypothetically, Cadence.
but Victor, like we gotta be careful,
Goddamn.
Jacob, you need to get your beauty sleep. It's
Guys,
too
I
late.
pressed the button.
No, as long as you don't draw a card, it's fine.
What?
I pressed the button, dudes.
What kind of
Hale,
button?
always pressing the button. Goddamn Hale.
The button showed up.
Now,
I pressed
hypothetically,
it.
hypothetically, if Hale presses this button,
After a good hour of planning things out and things going back and forth like that, everyone starts to turn in for the night. Florence, you particularly feel the drag behind your eyelids get heavy, as it's been a long day. You've spent a lot of time crying and exerting a lot of energy. Fiora, you sober up a good bit, and you feel exhausted today.
Yeah.
You can't fall
I
asleep.
think tonight's a short rest or a long rest or whatever the equivalent is.
Um,
Doesn't necessarily have to be in the inn.
no, as long as it is in a safe place where you don't have to worry about anything happening at any moment. So,
This is gonna sound stupid, but I think I'm gonna go where Argos is in the stables, and I'm gonna take rest there.
okay, I will call that a safe place. You might get
Argos is safe.
you might get horse dung on you, but
Oh,
now
I think the beds are just too soft.
I
They're just too soft.
already rolled who's gonna go first tonight, and Florence, you're going first.
Let's go Florence! Woo!
Alright, bet.
Florence,
Yeah.
tell me what you dream about.
I think with telling Fiora the memories of Marina and Florence playing House of Freak, I honestly think that she dreams of that just because of that resurgence.
Okay,
The music. Ooh.
so let's say that one more time. I was focusing too hard on starting music.
Yeah, you're good. I think with telling Fiora about the memories of Marina and Florence playing House in the Creek, I think that's something that kind of reminds her of those moments, and I think that she dreams of those.
Okay, and as you dream, you're not lucid in this dream, but you see everything before you just like how you remembered it. Having fun, the brightness of the day, the greenness of the trees around you, the blueness of the water slowly, slowly flowing. You don't quite hear any sounds though. You see it all. Think you feel it. It seems like you should feel it. But you don't hear any of it.
Marina, my shoes don't fit.
You see Marina look at you and you see her mouth move, but you don't hear her voice.
Do I understand her?
You understand her.
No, you can't steal your dad's shoes. I don't...
She looks at you, but it looks like she's getting further away.
Marina, you can't go down to the creek. It gets dangerous down there.
She's looking at you, but she's getting further and further away rapidly, faster than you can comprehend. And as it speeds away, all that color that was around you in your memory becomes black. Inky blackness all around. You're standing on some kind of surface, but there's no surface beneath you. You look up and you can't tell how far up is. You can't tell how far left, right, front of you, behind you, below you is. It's all black.
Marina?
There's no one around you.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Girl.
Who was that? Who's there?
In a sudden snap, you no longer feel young. You feel drowsy. You feel tired. And in this inky blackness, your yourself, your modern day self. You become lucid in this dream.
Where am I? I don't recognize this place.
Girl,
Who's there? Who are you?
do you wish to save
Save who?
them? And before you, one by one, you see everyone in the party pop up. You see Cadence, you see Jacob, you see Victor. Memories, flashes of days that you've spent with them, one by one, and then finally, right before you, your grandpa pops up. Do you have the strength to save them?
Yeah, yes, I want to say who. Who are you? Save them from what?
Just answer my questions and I'll tell you.
Cadence, or not Cadence. Bleh. Florence clenches her fist. Um, she's kind of looking around sporadically as to where the voice is coming from.
Tell me, what is the value of a life?
I can't answer that.
But you must.
Mm.
I need no fact, I just need to hear your words.
I can't put a price on life.
Hmm.
I
So, if you had to save, and on your right side, everyone else dissipates back into the inky blackness. But on your right side, your father pops up, and on the left side, Hale pops up. If you could only save one of these two, which life has more value?
I can't. I can't make that choice.
You see the image of your father and Hale dissipate back into inky blackness. You're a good choice. Would you like to come stand beside me?
If it'll show me who you are.
You hear a deafening snap, and in a blink, you see an enigma before you. You see skies above you, but they're tainted red. The clouds look like they're deep crimson. The ground beneath you is nothing but stone, cold stone. The walls are all black around you, but you stand on the mouth of a cliff as overlooking a great, massive plain, an amount of land that you didn't know could be seen by one's own eyes at one time. The lands are dissected into multiple squares, corners of so many things. You see a small set of land that's nothing but bubbles. You see another set of land that is nothing but fire. You see another set of land where
Excuse me.
everything is inky black. And
Where am I?
as you kind of take in the grand scale in front of you, on the edge of this cliff face, right beside you is a chair. It's turned away from you, it's back towards you. You can't see anyone sitting on it from this angle, but you hear that same voice from on the other side of that chair. Intoxicating, isn't it?
Where am I? Who are you?
I'm hard of hearing, girl. Come around, please.
I think Florence takes a hard swallow and very reluctantly steps around.
You see, he's. It looks like a man. His eyes are extremely sunken in, his eyelids seeming to try to close themselves, but it looks like he hasn't had an ounce of sleep in years. His face seems broken, not quite right. His cheeks matching his eyes sunken in. This looks like a man that was once extremely beautiful, but has wasted for quite a long time. He's wearing not much clothes. He has nothing on his upper body. His lower body, he has a robe. On top of his head, he wears a crown, though. Now, what did you ask, girl?
Who are you?
Names are funny things. I've had a few. I don't quite know what the right name is anymore. Mortals have called, or taken to calling me Abaddon.
Abaddon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been called many things, though. Abaddon, Sloth, Zadkiel. You see a smirk running across his face as it kind of, as he says the name Zadkiel, it comes to a line. It was a long time ago when I had that name, though. What?
No, like I just found out who Zadkiel is.
Well, do you respond to him? Any more questions? Anything?
What am I doing here? Why?
I felt a tinge within you. Wrath. Asmodeus himself felt it. And he waves his hand out very, extremely slowly. He is in no rush as he flicks his fingers, and some dust comes from his palm, forming an image ahead of the cliff face in front of you guys. And the camera appears. A tinge of wrath for Azrael. Am I mistaken?
She swallows again. No. No, you're not mistaken.
See, I've inclined to help you get rid of Azrael.
Florence's face and expression kind of change. Instead of being so cautious, she seems a little bit hopeful in her expression. And she says, anything to get rid of this curse.
When that look of hope came across your face, you see that one of his eyebrows raised very slowly, eager to deal with a demon girl. I'd be more careful if I were you. No, I have no taste to lie. It simply requires too much work. Azrael.
Why? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Why have you called me here?
You hear him let out a deep sigh. When he sighs, the air around you tremors. He gestures his hand to the side of him, to the right behind you. You haven't really looked behind you since you've entered here, since this sweeping landscape has dominated your vision. And you see gates. I'm to sit here and judge all souls who pass through these gates. It's quite a lot of work. Azrael simply makes too much work. I'm interested in keeping you mortals alive. And I could use someone with the proper motivation to stop her.
What does that have to do with me?
You, girl, have the proper motivation. And you have strength. It sickens me to watch her play with mortals. Our mother always taught us to not play with them, but she always skirted the lines. When he talks about her in that specific sentence, you can see his nose wrinkles, and his skin's already extremely wrinkled and sunken and pale, but you can see a tinge of disgust on his face.
I think I would also like to add that when he says that, Florence... This is a higher being than a human, so I'm sure he could pick up the fact that Florence got a little bit angry at that.
Angry about what?
Azrael playing with the mortals of humans.
Oh, yeah. He definitely looks at you. Now, I can give you a contract.
What's the catch?
You see, I'm not a fan of how contracts in our magic work. But the greater the risk or sacrifice, the greater the power I can give you. I have a proposal for a contract. If you don't like it, you can perhaps negotiate. But again, The stronger the sacrifice, the more the power. You can see he snaps again, and before him appears a piece of paper. The ink, what seems to be ink, written on this paper is dark and red and dried, and on it he reads aloud. Let me pull it up real quick. Florence Green will exchange her blood on this pact to acquire aspects of sloth. At any point, Florence Green can draw or push things away or towards her. And in exchange, she will have to kill Azrael within 1 year. If the contract's terms aren't kept, then Florence Green will forfeit their soul in service to Abaddon for eternity. And once the contract is fulfilled, the powers granted will go away. His head slowly swivels towards you. Are those terms acceptable?
I think Florence thinks back to the original image that this being had shown her, the party. And she asks, is there anything stronger than my soul that I can give?
You can see that he actually slightly frowns at that. Girl, you gave me an answer I accepted earlier. You told me a life is priceless. You would be offering me something priceless already. This power is not something to be scoffed at already. And you can see he draws out his hand, and in the distance, probably a good 3 miles away, you start to see something flying towards you guys. And within a few seconds, that object lands in his hand. And then he shifts his hand to face behind him at the wall behind you guys, and then shifts it up to face the ceiling above you. And then, without so much of a twitch of his muscles, he sends the rock flying straight up, and it tears a hole through the ceiling. Is that not power enough?
If what you say is true, and my answer of a life being priceless pleasing, then I accept these terms. Zadkiel.
You can see he you can see a reaction at the name, but he masks it so well you can't quite tell what the reaction is, and he simply holds the contract up to you. Put your blood on the contract, and it will be ratified.
Florence bites her thumb hard enough to draw blood. And she just does a simple smear.
as soon as it smears, you can see that all the text starts to glow and the words come off the page and then they start to wrap around you. And as they wrap
Does it-
around,
Sorry, go ahead.
as they wrap around, they start to collide with your skin, and then as they land on your skin, they start to fade inside you. A contract bound in blood that is kept within your own body.
Does it feel like anything? Like, does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt on the outside, but whatever it's squeezing in on within you, it singes a little bit. Almost like it singes at your soul.
A year. I have a year.
Mm. It is time for you to go. And he snaps, and suddenly you're back in your original dream. The lucidity is lost, and you can hear Marina saying, "Just let me tie it, damn it." And she bends down and ties your shoe.
Hey, where's the boat at? I thought you brought it, Florence.
No, you know that I can't take my boat from my dad.
Bro, who cares? Just take it. It's not like he's very nice to you anyways. He deserves it. Screw him. We can be pirates. That's way funner than the alternative.
No, I know. Instead of pirates, we can be... we can be in the big city.
Ooh! Mariana, you can perform. You can be that theater Broadway star you've always wanted to be.
Are you
Your
Florence or
name is Shining
Marina?
Bright. I thought you said Fiora was in the stream because you were talking about the boat and the creek shit.
Is Fiora in the stream?
I did not assume that Fior was in the dream, but
Oh no! Wait,
There's
I am
Florence
so.
and Marina.
I
am
thought
so sorry.
Jared
I
was also
misheard.
playing Marina. I was like, okay.
You were playing Marina too.
Oh, I can be Marina then. Shit. My bad. My bad. Yeah. I mean, all that makes sense. I thought you brought the boat. Look, I think it's way funner to build the reality we want, right? Because then we can be whatever we want to be.
Well, whatever you want to be, as long as I take Frick's picture, I'm okay.
Yeah. With that cool little thing you have there. How does it even work? I've never seen one of those before.
Chris,
Oh, what was that?
I mean, cameras would be pretty kind of new.
What?
Like,
what camera am I holding in my dream?
In your dream, it is not the camera. Your grandpa
Okay.
always
Probably like
made
a
sure
play
that you
camera.
didn't go off with that one. It's one of your grandfather's cameras. He had many. It's not his nicest one because you wouldn't want to take his nicest ones. But it's just a small little camera. It would take.
I bet there's a little human on the inside, and when you press the button, it paints a little picture, and that's what comes out.
No, silly. And she's like revving up the film. Just here.
See, you hear that? That's him. That's him getting his paintbrush ready. It's so obvious. Shwee, shwee, shwee. It's like him getting his paint ready.
Well, if he's getting his paint ready, then make sure to strike a pose. Say
Okay, okay.
cheese.
Cheese.
Click. See, look, it came out just perfect.
Wow. He's such a good artist. I don't think he can do it without your guidance, though.
Well, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Or at least that's what my mom would say.
Aw, I think that's perfect. Now, if we don't have a boat, I guess we can go back to the swing over there, right? That's fun.
Maybe if you sit on the swing, then I can push you far enough to where you can land in the big city and you can perform.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I think being able to fly would be like the coolest thing ever, right? Oh, be like a bird, like a butterfly. You gotta fly with me. Maybe we can both fit on a swing. Maybe if we both swing our legs at like the same time, then we can both go.
Okay. I mean, I'll try.
Here. You have to hold my hand and trust me, and I think we can do it.
Okay.
Florence, as your dream goes on, just like your memory remembers, unaware of any kind of lucidity in this dream, you slumber. And the camera reels back outside of the dream and sees you laying peacefully in bed. And the camera goes through the window and out to the stables. And we see Fiora. Fiora, are you laying down in the hay?
Fiora is... There are chains summoned. And in a messy, anxious fidget, they're wrapping their arms, unwrapping them, thinking about if they should be sharp or not. And those bodies of the animals, they flash over and over and over again in Fiora's mind.
Fiora, roll a... what kind of roll would this be?
Oh shit, is it emotional?
No. Roll your...
Oh.
A bone roll. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. How would I phrase this? You need
Awesome.
to roll to stop something happening physically.
Okay, so there's a risk involved then, right? If you word it that way.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm typing a reason. Okay, so there's my bone. That's an 11. I feel like experienced and pain could apply to whatever is going on. But other than that,
Experience of pain definitely works.
okay. I got a 14, so what's the risk?
Oh no, 25. One second. Let me see.
Oh!
Since you don't have much context, I'm going to see if anything works. One second.
25? Okay, cruel and unusual punishment then? Maybe for a 16?
That one.
I don't think anything else would apply right now because of how safe I'm feeling, other than my scary thoughts.
Take a -3 because all guns, no guard.
Oh yes. Honestly, I personally don't play to that scar enough, so yeah. So that's a 13.
Generational suffering and hatred.
Does poetic justice fucking count for this? Because I don't know what the context is.
No.
Okay, good.
There's not really anything else you can add.
Okay, so
Okay, wait. Add a 9. Add a 9. I'm not gonna tell you why, but just add 9.
Oh.
Oh wait.
Oh. Is it because I already have my chain summoned? Is that why you say that?
I'm gonna say. Here's the thing. I can let you add 9, but if I let you add 9, I'll have to add 9.
Okay. You know what? No, fuck it. Yeah.
The risk is a 34, and you're rolling a 20.
No, 21.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, 39 you say?
34.
Fuck it, Weeball.
34.
Oh, 34. 34. Why did they enjoy it? Why did they do it? I'm talking about the murderer there with that reasoning.
Florence. I'm sorry, not Florence. Fiora.
Oh shit! Oh, that scared me. Okay, yeah.
As you ponder upon these chains, almost without realizing it, you're so focused on the immediate link in your hands, the ends of the chains start to move by themselves.
Oh.
And you start to react a little bit, but you aren't quick enough. They start to wrap around your arms. And
Are they like literally guiding me forward?
No. They start to cut at your arms.
Oh. Oh. Oh, so that's physical damage.
That is physical damage.
Okay.
And you notice while they're cutting that they're moving at sharp angles and exact movements. And after a moment, not too long, of this cutting, the chains go limp. And you notice the cuts that they left are words.
Oh. Holy shit. Okay. I think fighting through the shock, I try to read them.
Okay. I will ask this. Would you want to go in a one-on-one call?
Oh shit.
You know what? Never mind.
Wait.
Come with me.
No.
No, do it.
You're with me now, boy.
Yeah, I am. What the fuck? Okay. Yes. I'm kind of perplexed. I'm honestly staring at the blood before I even read the words. There's a tinge of excitement staring at the crimson.
So on recording, we're gonna mute myself so no one else can hear what I'm about to say. But let me pull up the notes of exactly what it says for you.
Okay. Holy shit. I was wanted to, like, go kill an animal in the forest or something because of these scary thoughts, but this is a whole nother level. Vessel. Oh. Oh. And is that the only word? Holy shit. Okay, and I have something ready for that.
Okay.
Okay. Can I roll to use the chains again?
For you to use them.
Do I even need to roll? I think
depends on what you're trying to do. What are you trying to do?
I summon the chains again, and I start cutting away at the words in like a screamed panic. Like I think Fiora is actually screaming at what they read, and in an effort to try to make them go away, they summon the chains again to remove them.
I will not make you roll. I'll simply make you roll a 1d10, and whatever you take is going to be more physical damage.
Oh. Yeah, and I think after a little bit, like, in a deranged way, I think they even tried to, like, suck at the blood to make any evidence go away. Like, they're just... It's, like, jittering, not jittering, like shaking in their seat, like, yeah, that, wow, what the fuck?
You manage to scrape away all the words, and they are nothing but stray marks of scars that are left on your arms now. The blood starts to coagulate extremely fast. It's not normal, but whatever it is, it seems to be stopping the cuts on your arm from being worse than they already are, wound wise. The
Wow.
marks are left all the same.
What the fuck? Oh. You bastard! Why don't you just speak to me yourself? I need to hear from you again. I don't know what you want. These fucking games they don't help. I will do whatever you want. Just tell me. I can't take this.
You didn't notice it at first, but after all the wounds on your arms have coagulated, there was a previous word that was inscribed on the palm of your hand that you had not seen before. Two words. At first, you look down and all you see is the name Derek Deshar.
Derek Deshar. Is that someone from Finsdale? Is that
You've never seen this name before.
what the? Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think I have. Derek Finstar.
Derek Deshar.
Derek Deshar.
I'll put it in roll 20.
Oh, shit. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to misspeak like that.
That's okay.
Derek Deshar.
Sure.
I don't care if you use a different part of my body. Who is this?
There's no response.
Fucking kill him if I have to. Whatever this is. Whatever it is, just I just wanna be free.
As soon as those words leave your mouth, you see that the camera pulls away from Fiora. Slowly, very, very slowly. It ascends and ascends and ascends into the sky. And from far, far, far above, we hear the faint sounds of a deep breath. And the camera looks like it's looking through the point of view of eyes looking down on that stable. And that's where we cut away for this session.
Oh!